Sorry about that. Morning coffee, you know, gotta get the juices flowing, the blood flowing. Pause. In any case, in today's video, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna be taking a look at this video titled, Why Gen Z...
Alright, so I'm about to do a reaction video to a reaction video. I did not know that. Don't blame me, but since I'm already clicked it, let's go ahead and do it.
is having less sex than other generations. And honestly, I can't wait to see what this video has to say about this issue because I already have my own thoughts of which I'm gonna chime in with, but without further ado, let's get into this.
A 20-year-old man swipes furiously at two different phones, his eyes darting between Tinder and Hinge. It's a race against time. He needs to find someone to have sex with that night.
Nah, that's some creepy ass shit, bro. Why are you so desperate, my nigga?
No, that's not creepy. Because from the perspective of someone that doesn't get it, and you really want it, and you haven't had it in a long time, nah, I can't. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I can't even put myself in that situation because I haven't been in that situation. But you know, I can guarantee you it's hard. Like I can guarantee you it's hard. For someone that never done it, okay, cool. Probably they're not even on that type of time in anyway, so they wouldn't be on dating apps and things of that nature. But for someone that got it one time, maybe twice or so in college, etc., turning up, and then got out of college, now they like, you know, working, etc., and they barely get it when they go out. They can't really get no play when they go out, and they own them. Yeah, I can definitely see how that can definitely be demoralizing. If you're going to try to get it, right, I gotta be honest. I don't want to throw nobody under the bus, but dating apps is not it. Go outside, bro. Go outside. Actually meet women, talk to them, have a good time, have some human interactions. You know, be around good people, get a couple of drinks if you drink. Things of that nature. The dating app shit, that's not for y'all, bro. It ain't. For most men, it's not for y'all.
You got two phones on two different dating apps at the same time. Like, this gotta be a different...
No, that's diabolical. That part, yeah, obviously. But they doing that for dramatic effect. That I don't think nobody does that in real life. I would want to... I would be shocked if I see someone doing that in real life.
Pull it down bad.
Has to. The phone pings. He has a match, and he's out the door to continue his no-holds-barred, orgy-like lifestyle. At least that's what parents and the media believe is happening.
But let's be honest, we all know that for the vast majority of young men out here, that is not happening, bro. Unless you some handsome ass dude, chiseled jawline, goddamn looking like handsome Squidward in the face, it's probably not happening that fast.
But in fact, reality has gone the opposite way. Adult Gen Zers are having less sex and staying virgins longer than any generation before them at their age. So, what happened?
Imagine my shock. A generation full of people that don't touch grass, bro. That didn't have parents that prepared them for the world. That has the highest concentration of gooners than any other generation that came before them. Is having less sex than the previous generations. Shocking.
Gen Z, those born between 1997 and 2012, is gaining a reputation for their supposed prudish attitudes towards sex. But aren't they supposed to be the most sexually open and progressive generation? So, which is it?
Listen, although Gen Z might be one of the most progressive generations of all time, freest thinking, open-minded, we gotta admit, we are also the generation that invented e-sex, or at least the ones that made it popular. Like you got...
I ain't never seen that or heard of this in my life, bro. I'm learning some new shit right as we speak. This is crazy. Oh, body yaddy 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 yaddy. What the fuck, bro? Is this what's really going on in the world? I'm crying. I'm literally crying. Oh my gosh, we're cooked. If this is truly what's going on in the world, and this is not a joke, or they not, you know, trolling, we got this nigga right here. Oh my, I'm crying. All right, let's continue.
Got people really out here busting nuts to pixels. Like, think about that for a sec. Pixels, my nigga.
For Gen Z, growing up meant being surrounded by sexual imagery and having instant access to porn, literally at the click of a button.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
18-year-old high school student Lillian shares her perspective. A lot of heterosexual porn always felt graphic, There was always an element of violence to it, and I never truly felt like any of the women or AFAB individuals in it were enjoying it, she says. That was very disturbing to me.
Yeah, honestly, that aspect of Gen Z kids growing up and having instant access to X-rated content and pornography en masse in such a large scale, in my opinion, was the worst thing to happen to any generation up until this point. Like, what did you think was going to happen to the psyche of a generation full of people with full and unfettered access to the worst and most disgusting content ever? Like, this should not be shocking.
Porn for also making real-life sex off.
Well, that's not the worst. The worst is like, there's a website that was way back. I don't know if I can say the website name on Twitch, TOS. But it was a website where you saw people die, like literally die in the worst, craziest ways possible. That's when I woke up to reality. I was like, yeah, this is not a game out here. Like, it's people getting their hearts cut out. And you seeing it, like, full-blown video, even though the video was like fucking 240 or some shit. But you still seeing it. Like, you seeing some crazy shit. It puts things in perspective real quick on how bad it can be. Yo, what the fuck, bro? It puts things in perspective on how bad it can really be. So, yeah.
Pudding, describing her experiences thus far as meh to bad. She said her partners seem to model their moves on porn, flipping me over every 2 seconds because they watch a lot of mainstream porn. No wonder she doesn't want to have sex again.
Nah, that's some crazy shit right now. That last scene right there is crazy, bro. Was literally dragging her to the other side of the bed like she was a slave running for freedom, bro. That's insanity.
In 2011, 22% of both men and women aged 18 to 30, millennials, reported having no sexual partners in the previous year. By 2021, 33% of women and 43% of men reported having no sexual partners in the last year.
Which basically means, to sum it up in the most basic way possible, not only has the percentage of sexlessness for the ages 18 to 30 have gone up since 2011, but also the gap between the genders has also widened by a margin of 10%, meaning the 10% discrepancy of women having more sex than men in that specific demographic either means there are multiple women out here in a relationship with the same guy, knowingly or not, or those women are dating guys who are above the age of 30, which then just leaves that 10% surplus of guys between the ages of 18 to 30 with literally no options of having sex or any relationships, getting a girlfriend, because there's quite literally not enough human females who are single. So yeah, those guys are pretty much cooked, man. I don't know, man. Maybe they can look into getting a robot or something. Possibly an AI girlfriend if you're really desperate.
Another study found that Gen Z specifically reported less sex than millennials and Gen Xers. 25% of Gen Z adults said they have never had sex with a partner in their lives. Though rates of sexual activity are going down among both genders, there is a more pronounced difference with men, and a lot of people think it's a result of porn, loneliness, and lockdown.
I'm sure a lot of that has to contribute to all those factors. But primarily, I'm probably just gonna blame social media and internet access, because if social media and the internet wasn't as prevalent as it is and people were forced to go outside to have human interactions, then this likely would not be a problem. I mean, historically speaking, most people found their boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives, significant others amongst friend groups, people they grew up with, school, work, church. And it was actually rare to even use dating apps and meet random people you didn't even know from a blue moon. Like, I was like at the bottom of stats, and people would think you were weird for using dating apps like 20 years ago. But now the stats have just been completely flipped on its head, and now things are the worst that they've ever been.
During the pandemic, people...
Not only that, he didn't even talk about the hypergamy of it all, which is the fact that women want to date the best, right? So if you have access to just your local area, then your local area is just what you have access to. But now, since you have access to the internet, Instagram, Facebook, all the dating apps, etc., now you have access to people of all type of demographics, all type of places, all type of statuses, all type of power, money, etc., celebrities. They're literally celebrity crush they can actually reach if they cute enough. Literally. So, of course, it's going to fucking drastically change the dating market when they have access to those dudes. And those dudes really just want to smash and pass them versus actually have a relationship with them. But for most women, they don't even understand that, or they don't care enough, and they just want that lifestyle attached to it.
Stuck at home alone turned to porn and online content for sexual satisfaction. Psychologist Fred Rabinowitz said young men are watching a lot of social media and they're watching a lot of porn, and they're getting a lot of their needs met without having to go out. The numbers paint...
No, you're not getting your needs met. No, it's a fake getting your needs met, if that makes sense. Because intimacy is real, compatibility, companionship, all that shit is way more real than gooning, whatever they call that shit nowadays. yeah, that's a temporary band-aid to a shot. Like, you got shot and you putting a band-aid on it. Like, that's not a no, that's not it.
Paint a revealing picture. Among 18 to 29-year-olds, the percentage of women describing themselves as single edged up slightly from 32% in 2019 to 34% in 2022. But for men, the increase is far more dramatic, going from 51% to 63%.
Nah, that's crazy, bro.
That's
Holy
wild.
shit. I didn't know things were that bad, bro. And again, the same discrepancy, but even worse in the situation as before. How are 63% of men in Gen Z reportedly single in 2022? We are now in 2025, so it's gotta be worse. But in
It's
2022,
worse, yeah.
only 34% of women. I mean, mathematically speaking, 63 minus 34, that is a 29% discrepancy. So again, the same logic applies. This 29% discrepancy of women versus men who are reportedly not single and are in relationships. Either multiple women are dating the same guy knowingly or not,
Or dating
a lot
older.
of Gen Z women are just dating older guys, millennials, Gen X's, boomers,
Yes.
and the such, which leaves a 29% increased percentage of men compared to women who simply just don't have access, again, to relationships, sex, eventually marriage, and are just out here floating around in the ether without any love, intimacy, or interest from other Gen Z women. And again, we need to find a solution to this because this is not sustainable.
Even Gen Z icon Billie Eilish has opened up about the effects of early exposure to porn. She revealed in an interview that she started watching porn at just 11 years old,
That's
and it
crazy.
completely messed her up. Eilish says, "I think it really destroyed my brain, and I feel incredibly devastated that I was exposed to so much porn."
Now, as much as I can't really say I'm a fan of Billie Eilish's music or some of the things she decides to post online, like sometimes
I mean, me either, but she do got a song out right now. I don't know what it's called, but it's fire to me personally. Normally, when I hear a Billie Eilish song, I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. You know, I love music in general, so I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. But this song now, this new song in 2024, late 2024, early 2025, whatever song is on the radio right now, I love that song.
she's just way too freaky. Like, calm down. But one thing I will say is the fact that she's completely right. She says she was exposed to porn at 11. Now, I'm not entirely sure if I've ever said this or revealed this on my channel before or any of my social media pages, but I personally, speaking, was exposed to porn at just the early age of 10 years old. Now, it's crazy that I'm even revealing that, but it's fucked up, man. I'll honestly say it was the worst thing I've ever been exposed to in my entire life. And when you're a young mind like that, it does distort the reality of what relationships should be and how you should make love to a woman, your girlfriend, your wife, whatever. And I believe a lot of people like Billie Eilish, like myself, and a lot of other Gen Z folk have experienced this and are probably too ashamed to even speak up about it. Personally, me, I wish I was never exposed to it, and I was exposed to it, unfortunately, by a guardian. I'm not trying to reveal anybody's information here, but it definitely was a guardian, somebody I was living with. They've since passed away now, but I would say my exposure to that really had a detriment on my life, and I think it was incredibly irresponsible. If you're gonna be partaking in that stuff with kids in the house, do it in the privacy of, well, not in the home, not where your son or your daughter can come across it accidentally while you're doing what you're doing. Like, it's, wow, this is like a therapy session, man. Like, bro, you realize that you have trauma sometimes, and you don't talk about this shit for damn near over a decade. And yeah, that's all I'll say about that. But porn, yo, we gotta shield kids away from this shit, man. Shit's fucked up, man, honestly.
She said that when she started having
1000%. Definitely. They almost need to have a verification type shit. But I do get the fact that you don't want to upload your ID to the internet, and it's scary for most people. So it's going to be hard to even have a verification system, but for sure.
sex, she wouldn't say no to things that felt uncomfortable or wrong because she thought she was supposed to enjoy them based on what she had seen in porn. And people, especially young people, are watching a lot of porn. One study found that sites like Pornhub, Xvideos, and XNXX had more traffic than every other site in the US except Amazon and Yahoo. In 2023, the website reported it had more than 100 million visits per day, which means more monthly visits than those to Netflix, TikTok, Pinterest, and Instagram combined.
Now, if that doesn't highlight the massive issue we have in society right now that we have, then I don't know what will. This is unsustainable. Imagine if all that energy, right, that Gen Z ages people 18 to 24 visiting P-Hub and all these other pornographic websites used to visit those sites were used to create long-lasting relationships, homes, families, or even positive things like hitting the gym, working on academia, building a career, genuine connections with other like-minded individuals. Imagine if all that time was focused on other positive things. Like, this shit is, yo, I started this video out like thinking this shit was gonna be like funny, but now as I've like progressed through this thing, I'm kind of like, this is kind of sad, man. It really is, bro.
Sad.
I mean, yo, I didn't mean to make this a depressing video. I'm just, yeah. But feel free to sound off your comments in the comment section down below. All links are down below.
No, facts. This is sad. This is really sad. And it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse unless you combat the hypergamy or the ability to exercise hypergamy. It's only going to get worse, 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 worse. You have to actually make laws and rules and regulations to combat this type of behavior, like banning porn sites, getting rid of OF, using shaming tactics for any Sims that does like money to OF creators, etc. Creating waves of, I guess, positive energy, just like you said, of working out, having like-minded people around you, playing sports, bettering yourself, and things of that nature. It's just going to continue to get worse. But you also have to combat the hypergamy part of it. And I don't know the answer to that. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'll be having answers to a lot of shit because I really think about these type of topics in society as a whole, from top looking down, from inside of it, looking out of it, all of that. I look at it from a lot of different perspectives, and there's no way around the hypergamy thing except for rules, laws, and regulations. And those rules and laws and regulations would cause too much backlash. So I don't see no other way around it besides rules and laws and regulations, but those laws and regulations would cause so much backlash that it might not be worth it. So I don't know. But just like he said, put it in the comment section below. What are your thoughts? What should happen? What are your solutions? I'm solution based. We all see the problems, we understand the problems to actually an extent, but what is the actual solution to these problems? Yeah, this is a sad video, I'm not gonna lie to you. I wish it wasn't like this. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. If you want to see other videos just like this, you already know where to find me, and I'm out. Peace.